Hey, what's up guys? It's Pete with MixBetterNow.com, and we're going to be taking a look at the brand new plugin BX Rooms from our good friends at Plugin Alliance and Brainworx. Let's check it out. Okay, so on the screen here, I have an instance of BX Rooms or BX Room MS, however you want to say it. This is the first reverb plugin ever from Brainworx, which is really exciting. For those of you who know Brainworx or have used their plugins, you know that they are very big into using mid-side technology. This is no different here. We are able to essentially use our reverb in mid-side. Very exciting. In my opinion, this is probably one of the most natural sounding algorithmic reverbs that I've heard, compared to others. The addition of the mid-side processing really just kind of puts it over the top and gives us a ton of control on this reverb, makes it very easy to use compared to a lot of other reverbs that I've checked out where there's lots of sub-menus and things can get a bit confusing. So one of the things that makes BX Rooms so revolutionary is the true space technology, which provides a continuous range of algorithms for any of the selected space sizes. So these are called the quick select buttons, okay? So we have ambience, room, plate, hall, church, and then we have three default sizes, small, medium, and large. But getting back to that true space technology, with the continuous algorithms. So if we look at other algorithmic reverbs, just getting a little nerdy for a minute, basically what that means is other reverb plugins might only have 2 or 3 algorithms inside of them for those designated space sizes. Well, with this plugin, we have continuous algorithms, so it means that however much we tweak, the algorithms change. There's many algorithms in here, so it is very customizable. One other extremely cool feature about this reverb is this directivity feature here, and essentially what that does is it allows our sound source to be fed through any blend of dual mono stereo outputs. This number 2 here means we have both mono outputs going out. X is another one, so if we bring this all the way over to the left, and then Y is another one, and by tweaking this, we can actually shape the sound of the reverb we have picked. 2 more things I want to touch on really quickly. The first being that the CPU usage on this plugin is extremely low. I've been using it on my tracks as opposed to setting it up on sends. Other plugins might be CPU hogs. This is very user-friendly. You can go ahead and slap this on a ton of tracks. And like I said, the last thing here is that's cool is this fix mix control. So if we engage this, for example, if I press that in and I bring the dry wet knob to about 50%, what that's going to do is it's going to allow the dry wet knob to stay at 50% when I'm go ahead and start toggling through all of the different selections here. You see the faders moving, but the dry wet knob will stay the same. All right, so I have a few instances of BX Rooms open on the desktop here. I'm going to hit play from a verse. This is a fantastic track from Andy Gullahorn of Nashville, Tennessee, an amazing singer-songwriter. This is kind of a stripped-down acoustic track. We have acoustic guitars, nylon string guitars, a live string section, pianos, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play from the first verse. On his vocal, I have what I call an office verb, which is a very small room sound. And a vocal plate. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eye? Last time we dressed up for the ball? Last time we felt a raging jealousy inside, or any raging feeling at all?
Okay, let's just take a pop over to the second verse. There's some more instrumentation coming in here.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud. There's a pain that doesn't even have a name yet, injury, hemorrhaging blood. There's a fire still flickering from years ago, unsure if it should comfort or burn.
All right, so what I want to do is I want to show you how I set up these 2 reverbs on his vocal, and then we'll go ahead and move some faders around on another instance of BX Rooms, so I can show you really how easy it is to dial in the reverb sounds that you want. So I'm going to solo the vocal here. You could hear it stripped down, first verse.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes? Last time we dressed up for the ball.
So definitely an appropriate amount of reverb for a track like this. For a more intimate song, I don't want to drench it in reverb, but I definitely want to, add some wetness to give it that depth that it needs. What I'll do is I'll bypass everything but the first reverb. This is what I call an office verb, so it's kind of a smaller room setting. Basically how I achieved this was I clicked on room and then I tweaked the reverb time, the room size, the shape, and just put a little bit of distance in the sound source. So it sounds like this.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes?
Off.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes?
On.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes?
So what's nice about that is it just kind of does this with the sound, okay? The next thing I have up is a vocal plate that I'm using. So let's go ahead and get rid of that guy. So here's the plate.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes? Last time we dressed up for the ball.
I'm going to exaggerate the level here a bit so you can hear it more.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes? Last time we dressed up for the ball.
Okay, so it just adds another layer of depth to the vocal that I really like. While we have this up, I just want to point out a few very cool features here in the this section over here. We have built-in filters, so you can see that I'm doing a little bit of filtering on the bottom and on the top. So I'm rolling off a whole bunch above 11K, and I'm just getting rid of the sublows. We can pick between a 6 dB per octave filter or a 12 dB per octave filter. We can also increase the stereo width. We can also narrow it or go mono with it. And then we have a mono maker as well. Whatever we set that to, everything below that frequency will be in mono. So let's take a listen as I widen the stereo image.
When's the last time we looked each other in the eyes? Last time we dressed up for the ball. Last time we felt a raging jealousy inside, or any raging feeling at all. When's the last time we forfeited the last word?
So just a very, very cool feature to have on the reverb. You know, if you want to automate a little bit more width on a chorus or something like that, it is absolutely doable. Very, very handy feature to have. So, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bypass this. I have another instance here of the reverb. And all we're going to do is we're going to start from default and we're going to move some faders around. I'll show you how it sounds and how easy it is to really kind of, dial something in quickly. Let's go to the second verse just for a little variety.
There's a whole world happening just...
So that's the default sound that you're going to get with the reverb. It's a little bit ambient. It's a little bit kind of thick and lush. So I'm going to back down the send.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath.
So the first thing I'm going to do here, like I said before, is I am going to roll off some of the bottom and the top, just because that's what I like to do. So the first one we can click on here is Ambience. Everything defaults to medium, so if we just kind of fly through these, you can see the faders moving, you can see some of these knobs moving, and all that's essentially doing is it's changing a lot of these settings. But what's nice is it allows us to move so fast through these. With a lot of other reverb plugins, it isn't so easy to navigate, and it isn't so easy to dial in a really good sound as quickly.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
So that's the basic ambient medium sound. Let's check out the room.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
Let's go to the plate.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by...
Here's a hall.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by...
That one gets pretty intense. And a church.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by...
So they all have different characteristics to them. What's great is it just depends on what you are looking for your track. So, for example, if I come to Ambience first here.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath.
So the reverb time fader is exactly that. That will dictate how long your reverb will be.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
As you increase it, you are going to get a longer reverb tail.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath.
Okay, we have room size. The higher we go on that, the bigger the room sound will be.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
Go smaller.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
So in conjunction with the room size, we can also change the room shape. So all the way up top is natural, all the way at the bottom is an artificial room shape, and we can tweak everywhere in between.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
Okay, here's the artificial.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath.
If we put a little bit of pre-delay in there.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
It's a little Phil Collins-y, you know.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
So what I've done there is now I have brought in the source distance fader, and we can actually move it forwards and backwards in terms of where you want the source to sit in the room compared to kind of how it's sounding or where the hypothetical mic would be picking it up.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud. There's a pain that doesn't even have a name yet.
So it's just so easy. 5 faders, that's kind of like your fundamental, and then, you know, if that's not doing it for you, let's click on room. If we want a small room, we do a small room. And all small, medium, and large will do is it will move this first fader as you see it kind of going there. So, you know, it's quick, but you can really kind of get in and tweak it to your taste.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by...
Everything sounds fantastic. I love the plates, the rooms, the ambience.
There's a whole
super
world
easy.
happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud. There's a pain that doesn't even have a name yet. An injury, hemorrhaging blood.
All right, just for fun, let's bring the band back in.
There's a whole world happening just under our breath, covered by the slinging of mud.
Now that's only one reverb I have on there. Typically I like to blend in multiple. Let's check out the bridge.
Put your ear to the ground and your fist through the wall. Chase the rumbling sound, saying maybe we're not dead after
all. Let's go ahead and check out how this sounds on another instrument. This track is a real treat. We actually have real strings. So what I've done is I have this on the string bus. We're gonna start with the default setting, and we're just gonna create a little bit of space. What I want to do is I want to make these strings sound like they are in a little bit bigger of a room than they are in. They already sound good, but let's just have a little fun with it. I'm gonna hit the fix mix here because we're not working in the wet mode on ascend anymore. So fix mix will ensure that when we toggle back and forth, we won't get that washed out sound. Okay, let's bypass that in and out. Out. In. Very cool. Let's try a little ambience here. So I'm playing with the stereo width right now, and I could feel the strings widening in my headphones. Let's go to a more legato section. So when I hit the space bar, I want you to listen for the tail. Right now we're using a plate, so we might not get a whole bunch of that, but we will tweak it. A little bit. If we do a room, we'll hear it a little bit more. Very cool. Let's try a hall. You can kind of hear, like in like a real concert hall, you can kind of hear the reverb rising. And with the reverb time, that will control the tail, okay? So if we increase this, you hear a much more drawn out reverb tail. I highly urge you guys to go check out this plugin. You can download a demo at pluginalliance.com. Put it on a bunch of your tracks in your sessions. Put it through its paces. It is on sale right now at an introductory price. It's only $99, and it's a whole lot of reverb for that price. So definitely go check it out. All right, that's it for me. My name is Pete with mixbetternow.com. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will catch you next time.